Hi, hi, hi. That's what the network marketing reps always start theirs by. Just waiting for Joe to come on. We've got a few things to talk about. So I'm just going to share it around. Hi to everyone coming on. I'm just sharing this around. I'm waiting for Joe to come on. Hope this doesn't... I'm doing this on my phone. I hope it doesn't flick off. Right, like I said, anyone coming on, I'm just waiting for Joe to come on and then we'll get started. How is everyone? Hi, Michelle. This thing on Facebook, get lost. How are you? How are you all? Is everyone excited about the new opportunity? Reminiscience opportunity. I certainly am. Been very, very interesting. Oh, look, okay, here it is. Been very, very interesting learning all about the reminiscience. They don't want to pronounce it like that, but that's how it reads. I don't know where they come up with these stupid names. I don't know. You know, you read these names and you think to yourself, God almighty, you know, look at the amount of work that they've put into, you know, well, they haven't put that much work into logo, but, you know, all this CGI. Hi, Cheryl. And you just think to yourself, God almighty. And you kept a straight face the whole time with that stupid name, stupid company name. It's unbelievable. But they did. And they're here. Why are they here? Well, I think we all know why they're here. They're here because they're about to be shut down for being a pyramid scheme. TS Life's about to be shut down for being a pyramid scheme. They took their time, they bided their time. They rinsed their dwindling little flock of victims until the 11th hour, cooperated with no investigators. They've cooperated with no investigators. I can tell you that now, thousands to do this. And it's come to the 11th hour. They've obviously had to get something started straight away because, as we know, TS Life was always really owned by Acti Labs, although it was, you know, all paperwork to say otherwise, but it was always really owned by Acti Labs. All the products come from the same white label company, organised by the managing director of Acti Labs. Hi Joe, I'll put you on. Let me add you. Right, I'm going to just add, there we go. Add, there you go, Joe. Hi Michelle, hi Sarah, let me just say hello. Cheryl, hi Sarah. Hi Rebecca, hi Amy. I hope you're all doing well. So Joe's coming on now. Yeah. So there are more videos coming out, obviously, to just saying, Joe, that obviously the first video was the most important because, you know, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I was just explaining. Yeah, I can hear you. I was just explaining that, you know, I haven't obviously done anything much anti-MLM for ages and ages. And the the mums netters. The mums netters called out to me. They
Yes.
called out to me from Mum's Letter. I didn't actually know that. One of the ladies who follows me sent me a message and she said, she went, are you gonna do anything about anything? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, oh, they're just saying on Mumsnet about the new company, this company of new TS Life. I said, oh yeah, what's that? This was ages ago. And she told me, and she said, oh, the Mums Netters want to know. And I said, oh, just say I'll be back. I didn't want to say too much. And thank you, Rebecca. I went editing that. I don't care admitting. I edited that till about 2 o'clock in the morning to try and get that out. That's very kind of you to say, because the editing, it takes nothing to make it, but it's the editing and all of this, that's, and the others. But yeah, so I thought, I looked into it, and I just thought to myself, I sort of rolled my eyes, thought it's just another load of crap. I you know, started, oh, you know, and when you go and you see how excited they all are, Joe,
I
do you
know.
know what do you know what it makes me feel like? It makes me like, you know, that scene that that sort of scene where there's the person looking over the cliff at the beach and they see all the children playing and all the families playing, and then they can just see there's like a big shark coming.
Yes.
Reminds me of that. Makes me
Yeah.
think of that.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that. Um, so I thought I'll have a look. Didn't know if I was going to do anything. Obviously, a few people were very happy to help, because you can't really do it on your own unless people are happy to help you. Got involved with some of the groups and
Yeah.
got me the link for the Zooms and everything.
Yeah.
Soon as I got on the Zoom with Caius, I was there, just so you all know, because I know that they're Caius and John. They can't resist. They can't resist, especially you, John. Especially you, John. I know you're going to watch this, whether you're watching it live or you watch it on replay. You can't help yourself. I know you can't. So I watched Caius's live where he puts the compensation plan up. He flicks through a few pages, but I was screen recording it, so I was able to stop it so I could screenshot everything. Because this compensation plan, and this is what we were going to talk about, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
So elusive. Ooh, they don't want anyone to see it. They don't want anybody to see it.
Nope.
Anybody.
Nope.
Wonder why that is.
Well, we can have a bit of a guess, a stab in the dark and a guess. Maybe they want to keep it for a surprise so that nobody knows how good it is. Maybe that's what it could be.
Surprise! You're not getting any Christmas presents for your kids this Christmas. Surprise! You're going to get an injunction out against you for your electric bill. For goodness sake.
Yeah,
What a
yeah,
nice surprise for them all. All
yeah,
they're putting on the website, obviously, is this minimum pay, which obviously they think
yeah,
people are seeing that. And people, I guess, are seeing it, aren't they, Joe? And they're seeing it and they're thinking to themselves, oh,
yeah. Well, I think you've got like some people that are just completely falling in for it, like I've done myself, and I know other people
mm,
who've done it. And I hold my hands up to everything I've done with MLM myself.
mm,
But I think that puts me in a good stead to be able to make these comments, because at one point I was a believer.
yeah.
But I think that you've got those sort of people that really fall into this, they fall into this trap of where the lifestyle's being sold, the dreams being sold. I mean,
Can I
I've
just
got,
interject? The dream, by the way, which for the leader that I showed in the video, was after 10 years.
yeah,
After 10 years, she's still not earning what she would be earning if she were on minimum wage, full-time salary. She's still not
precisely.
earning that.
Yeah, precisely. They can buy, balloon arches till they're blue in the face to make it, just for the
Mm,
just for the show for Facebook, because that's
yeah.
all it is. It's just to it's like looking through a holiday brochure. You just get to see the
Mm.
best bits. Like
It's the fake bits. It's not even the best bits. In this
yeah,
company,
that's
it's
true. That's true. Yeah, there are no best bits, but
there's no middle ground, even though you're either
no.
earning a load or you're literally earning sod all.
Yeah, and I mean, and then you've got the other people on the other side, like myself, and the people
Mm.
who talk to you. I've got a ton of people that come to me and we talk and find things out.
Yeah.
And we're getting some really good information from some good sources, and sometimes it kind of is a bit like what you've said there, where you're looking um you know looking over the edge of a cliff and there's a shark and there's all these kids in the water, and you just want all the kids to get out, but
Yeah.
they can't hear you,
You're
and then
screaming.
yeah, and they can't they
Yeah.
can't hear you, and
Mm.
that doesn't, because people have asked me, does that frustrate me? um and to be honest with you, it doesn't, because I absolutely know that in your own time, people do. Sometimes people start, the scales start falling from their eyes, sort of
Mm.
thing, and they start to see things, but then they think, actually, if I just work harder, I want that money I've already invested. It's like
Gambler mentality.
it's like being in a bad relationship. You think this time it's going to be okay. You know, he
Mm,
said sorry or
yeah,
she said sorry, and you know the long you've put in 10 years into this relationship, you don't want to give up on that time that you've
yeah,
invested already. And
yeah,
you know, even but the light bulbs do start switching because the most intelligent people I've seen people on lives who work in I've seen nurses, I've seen and they're like a completely different person to what they
yeah.
to what they were like, and it's like they've fallen for this. Somebody that worked in the Inland Revenue is doing lives on Facebook about this.
Anyone can fall into it. Anyone on
Yeah,
one of these lives, on one of these Zooms, there was this one woman. I'm not sure where she was from, perhaps Indonesia or somewhere. She had this thing in the background, and it was written on there, doctor,
yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
nothing to do with intelligence
No,
at
nothing,
all.
nothing, and
Um,
no, nothing
you
at all.
know,
And again, you know, if you've been in an abusive relationship, you know, it does make you feel. You know I've been there. It makes you feel like to the big part, it makes you feel like it's your fault because why
mm,
would you be sticking around if you were being, you know, there's a lot of psychological stuff going on, mind
yeah,
games, you know, they're having the wool pulled over their eyes and it's not their
mm,
fault. You know, eventually you just see it for what it is, and then there's no one seeing it once you've seen it. But it's the people who are thinking that this is hot off the press. They've reinvented the wheel in the
yeah,
MLM world when they haven't. And all these different things are being thrown in front of them. And
yeah.
the hype is the hype, and you know the excitement, and oh, we're all going to be millionaires. You know, this sort of thing now is happening again. Only this time it's worse for some reason because this time you absolutely know that some of those people at the top haven't been led into it, and they just think because they're getting the
And they know
money,
it's a pyramid scheme.
they're
They know
in
it's a
on it this
pyramid scheme.
time.
They know full well, those leaders
Yeah,
know full well that this is a pyramid scheme. They could have left the company and gone to another company that would have obviously been a pyramid scheme too. But you know, you've got it's fact, it's a pyramid scheme. TS Life, listen, you know, get real. TS Life, why do you think? Anyone who's from Reminiscience, why do you think that they're changing everything? Why would they do all of this? Right? Why would they do this? TS Life had all of its products, right? Had everything, and they were products that they'd people said that there was no, they were notable. This supernova was supposed to be this big thing. Why would they throw all that away and just invent a new thing? Why would they do that? Think about that. I know that if you're in a desperate situation, your critical thinking skills are probably at an all-time low because you're desperate, you need money. But why would they do that? Every single thing that they're saying about this company, they said about TS Life. I've got all the screenshots.
yeah,
Biodegradable, vegan,
yeah,
cruelty free. There's no change. Making out like this is all new. There's no new, there's nothing different about this ideas behind it. They have done this because they had no choice. They're being shut down for
yeah,
being a pyramid scheme. This is exactly what happened to my shopping genie. And if anyone's seen my Fraser Brooks video, you'll see exactly what happens. My shopping genie was Fraser Brooks' first MLM. His dad got him in it. He was number 2 person. He's never done anything else before that. It's the only reason he made anything of himself. He's just a geek who got in early with his dad to something. My shopping genie, same situation, Irish trading standards. They went in there. It's a pyramid scheme. They shut shop. They did it pretty quickly. I mean, TSI have stretched itself out. They did it pretty quickly, and then they reopened themselves as Shopping Sherlock, right? And then they go on with themselves. And this is exactly what TS Life have done. The only problem is they've had to come out of Ireland. The managing director of Acti Labs does not wants to lose those reps. And I said this to you, didn't I, Joe, at the beginning?
yeah,
I said, there's no way those reps are being lost. I said, one way or another, he's going to get them into Acti Labs. I can't believe that he's going to let them be lost because he knows what's coming. He will do something. He will engineer some situation to get to them. And it's exactly what he's done, right? He's closed TS Life. He's, after lying and saying that there was nothing to do with him, he only provided the products. He's lied about absolutely everything. I've got the screenshots. The new back office for Reminiscience, the new back office is all still got the TS Life website at the top. It's still got copyright TS Life. It's just TS Life. So you always own TS Life. If that's not evidence enough, I don't know what is. And now there is no company really that's being incorporated. I'm going to tell you now exactly what this is. It's the same as Mermology. It's just Acti Labs. It's like an offshoot now of Acti Labs, all those reps. And I don't want to give too much away about the products because I do intend to do a video about that. And obviously, Joe, you're welcome to come on. Cheryl says, your video is a massive eye-opener for me, and you actually saved my bacon. I had no idea also how much money the 100 RPs was to stay active. Well, this is the thing, people don't. That's why they make it in points, Cheryl. I'm a recovered alcoholic, and just like alcohol, think I'm going to have to treat MLM as an addiction and recover from it. I think I must be addicted to the dopamine. Do you know what, Cheryl? I can't believe you just said dopamine, because that's exactly what I was going to say. It's not, the addiction isn't to the MLM. The addiction is to you're joining something and you're surrounded by this positivity. You're surrounded by these people saying, you can do it, you can do it. And that is such a boost. It gets your endorphins going, your dopamine level receptors are just throwing out the dopamine. It makes you feel so good. But the problem is, like alcohol, like drugs, like anything, the high comes with the low, and the low is when that all ends. Because as you know, Joe, this is not free. And you think you're making a business. Can I tell you what you're really paying for, Cheryl, when you put that 100 and minimum 165 in? I'll tell you what you're paying for. You're not paying to make a business. You're not paying, because I think everyone needs to get real. This is as far as all network marketing companies go. What you're actually paying for is that dopamine hit. You're paying for that dopamine hit. Every month you stay in the club, it's the dopamine. It's like a drug, and you are paying for it. Because every time you drop your minimum monthly amount and you remain active, or you do something, and they stick your face on their pages, these Miss Wonderfuls stick your page on their pages, and then they go in the chats and they go on there and say, give some love, everyone. And everyone throws their, wow, amazing. You read that and you feel incredible, on top of the world. If you could bottle that feeling up, they'd be selling it recreationally in the clubs, right? That's the feeling it gives you, and you're fired up, and then it starts to come down. So what do? Well, I need to drop a bit more. Maybe for my next hit, if I put enough in, I can hit that next promotion. And if I hit that next promotion, all with my own money, by the way, they'll stick me on there, and everyone will say, wow, even more to me. And then you anticipate that feeling. So it's like any addiction. You scrape together the money to get it in there, because it's that rush, like any drug. And that's for some people. With other people, there's lots of different reasons, but that's a big part of it. So it's really important for people to understand you are paying for that rush, and the second that you stop putting that money in, it's going to end. And no one's going to be saying you're doing amazingly well. No one's going to be saying, wow. No one's going to be bigging you up. In fact, what's going to start happening is that the people who have been doing that to you are going to start coming for their pound of flesh and saying, hey, I didn't big you up. I haven't been chatting to you in a private message for no reason. Start working, which really means start putting your own money in. So, but yeah, as we were saying, it's all Acti Labs now. It's all inside Acti Labs. It's just an offshoot. It's all coming in the videos, because I'm going to tell you something now, John, and I know you're watching this, and if you're not, someone else is going to tell you to. After reading that compensation plan and just seeing how impossible it is, and how you've done everything in your power to bamboozle people, to con people, and to scam people, you horrify me.
And I just think to myself, what the hell is wrong with him? What the hell is wrong with him? For God's sake, John, you know, do you honestly think that this is the behaviour of any, not even decent human being, normal human being? Is this what, do you do this and feel good as a man? I don't know how you could. I don't know how you could. You know, and I've thought about this so much. You know, you know, the way you earn your money, you don't earn money, do you? Scam money. You know, and I've seen on your thing your boats and all this, that, and the other. But how can you enjoy any of that stuff? Because, you know, wherever you go, you know, you meet people with your level of money and all the rest of it, and you might have a chat, and you'll sooner or later get onto this sort of conversation of, you know, what's your business? And you know that I know that you feel like a total imposter in that situation, because you know that who you're talking to has made their money and made it in life legitimately. You know that they're either an entrepreneur or they started a business, but you're there. And what you're then going to do, you're not going to turn around and go like, well, I've got multi-level marketing companies, because if you know, if they know what that is, they're just going to move away from you and look down on you. So you don't, do you? I bet you make up the lie. Oh, I've got skincare, I've got labs, I provide skincare to all these companies. You don't say anything about the multi-level marketing. So what's the point in having all that money if always you feel like an imposter? If never your self-esteem can ever really truly be fulfilled, what's the point? What's the point in it all? It's all fake. It's a load of it's nonsense, John. You're scamming people, very vulnerable people, just before Christmas. For God's sake, you know, John's got he's got a grandson, and I want you ladies to realise this now, because when your children at Christmas have sod all because your cupboards are full of all this shit that you don't really want or need, his grandson will have a pile of presents up to the ceiling. Up to the ceiling. So many presents will his grandson have that he will tire of opening them. He will absolutely tire of opening those presents. He'll get to the point where it'll be a stress. Your children will have very few presents. You won't have been able to afford to get them the things they truly want, the big things. His, all from you. All the money you lost so him and his could gain. He doesn't deserve any of it. Any of it. Doesn't deserve any of it. Your children deserve any of it. His grandson will have a magical Christmas, while your children are wondering what they did wrong that year to not be on the good list. This is the reality. You need to get it in your heads. He knows it. John knows it's true. Caius has got children. Oh, that they will be convinced of how. Oh, we've been great children this year. Look how many presents Santa brought for us, surrounded. Imagine them walking downstairs, room full of presents. Your kids are going to walk downstairs to what exactly? What exactly? You're going to wrap the Ultranovas up. You're going to wrap the boxes of Zito up. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous, isn't it, Joe?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
I know you can laugh. It's fine. But it's true, isn't it? You know, here you go, darling. Here's your, oh, mummy, it's just what I wanted, a box of Zito. Goodness me. Probably enjoy it, actually, when there's caffeine in there. You bounce off the walls all Christmas. You know, there you go. But that's what I think, and that's what I think of you, John. You astonish me. You utterly astonish me. I mean, carrying this man along with you. I think Caius has been to rehab, you know. Do you reckon, Joe? You saw that live.
Doesn't look very well, does he, in all fairness?
I think he's been pulling all-nighters.
He looks exhausted. He used to have a bit of a spark in his eye, you know, when he was a bouncy personality.
That was the coke, though, Joe. That was the coke. He's off it. I'd say he's been told get off it. Probably put in rehab. He didn't look like he was on any drugs.
Yeah, I feel like he's been having a bad time over something, and that's probably to do with the investigation. He's no matter what you say, he has got a wife and two children. So I think he has been under severe I mean, none of it excuses anything. He's been under severe pressure because of the investigation, because obviously it's still not completed. There's still you know, whatever they're going to do to him, you know, they obviously had the grounds to raid him. That's all in the newspaper articles that we've
Incredibly stressful, incredibly stressful.
you know, that is going to, you know, because obviously he knows that he's not clean either. He knows that it's not a clean way to be operating, you know, with money and all the other things. That's, you know, God knows what's going on there behind the scenes. It must be in a right mess. And I just think that he looks quite gaunt. He certainly not the person that I used to know and admire when I was involved with you know, that side of things. He kind of looked like he had, I mean, funny you've mentioned the shark once, because he did look like he had shark eyes, like dead, like a bit dead behind the eyes, like no emotion or nothing. He was just there, you know, like going through the motions. Nothing motivational, nothing at all.
On that Zoom, he
nothing
looked like he'd
convincing.
been up all night. He was the eyes. I mean, I've pulled enough all nighters in my time to know it looks at the eyes, the way they were opening. He'd been
Yeah,
up all night. He'd been up all night.
yeah. There's a lot of pressure on him, isn't there?
Mm.
None of that excuses conning people in a pyramid scheme, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe he should just be looking at. I'm not sure what the if you want to go make yourself a millionaire, I'm sure that you can do that legitimately if you've got, you know, certain skills or whatever. You know, you don't have to be running a pyramid scheme to, but obviously that's the option, isn't it? And the option is take that, use some sort of like showman tactics that are used, you know, to rip people off for money. And
I
all
think
that money.
I don't think that it was ever Caius, Joe, that was ever in that way that you described, spark in his eye. I think that was always, this is my opinion, by the way, I think that
Yeah,
was always drug induced. I think that there's always been an addiction there. I think that he has had this addiction. It's made him like that. And do you know what I thought when I saw him on that Zoom? He just seemed like a very ordinary man,
yeah.
a very ordinary. I mean, we were told, they were told, we were told, be looking for me now, won't you? That this was going to be, he was going to bring the fire.
Yeah,
Caius was going to bring the fire. This was the Zoom that we could not miss. This Zoom. This was going to be the Zoom that we couldn't miss. And bear in mind, I've been on the Zooms with Amber, SJ,
yeah,
all of them. All of them. I was getting the links for all of them. I've been on all of their Zooms watching them. And I'll tell you what, and I said this to you now, particularly SJ. I mean, what
oh,
a charismatic woman. I mean, she is incredible at what she does. And I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying that she's got the fire. I mean, if you're looking for the fire, this SJ, she's got it. She sits there and she goes and she's this and she's bouncy, and I can see how she sucks them all in. I can
yeah,
see how she does it because it's so obvious. She's got it. What you need, she's got, and I can see how she will have done this organically. Right, I can see how she will have done this organically herself. I mean, she honestly mesmerizing, and I could watch her for that thing. I could watch if she wasn't doing what she was doing now. I would enjoy watching her fitness videos because she's just got that thing about her that really makes you feel like, yeah. And then you contrast that with this Zoom of Caius, where he sits there like a freaking zombie. I mean, he wasn't, I guess it's just compared to before. There's no fire. Where's the
oh,
fire? And he sat there like, and he was awkward as well. And this is what I kind of thought to myself. He's not on drugs anymore, is he? Very, this awkward little giggles to himself, the sort of thing that just an ordinary man would do. And I saw it and I watched him and I just thought, you're just an ordinary man who has found yourself here. You don't, you're not happy. Of course he's not happy. He's pulling all-nighters in that state, but desperately chasing whatever it is. You know, we know he's the puppet now. And I'm going to be honest with you, and people aren't going to like this. A bit of my heart went out to him in many ways, because I
Yeah.
thought he looked like a lost little boy that has got in way too deep and absolutely lost, doing what he can to tread water, but he's eventually going to drown
Yeah.
because he's in way too deep. Any money that you could ever say, well, look how much money he's got, none of it's worth being in that state.
None of it.
None of
No.
it.
No.
And
There's
he'll
no
go
proof.
back to it. It doesn't matter if he's come off the drugs, he will go back on them again, because the reason he got on them won't have been solved, I don't believe. All it will take is a convention or a party for, just have a cheeky one.
Yeah.
Next day, he's still got the gram in his pocket, and he'll start all over again, because you can't live in that state without doing something. A normal man like that. I mean, he's not like that Danny G. Watch that Danny G. Not like him. That Danny G's just got some, he's just like freaking red hot poker up his ass 24/7, hasn't he? He's not like that, you know. And I felt for him in many ways. It's
Yeah.
unforgivable what he's done, but that was a lost person on that.
Yeah. 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 But I mean, what I think has got to happen is that sometimes these people, or these people that scam other people, basically, do have a way of putting on a little boy loss sort of persona to get people to feel sorry for them. That
I
also,
don't think it was that situation, because his job in that Zoom was to bring the fire, and he just didn't have it to bring. It
no, there
wasn't
was no
there.
fire. There was absolutely no fire at
No,
all. He
there's
was
no
talking
fire.
he was talking nonsense. The things that they're suggesting, when they're edifying this new compensation plan, it's total bollocks for a start. Nothing about it is enticing. So many people don't even know what the compensation plan is. They don't even know what they're
Nobody.
doing. They don't know
Nobody
what
has any idea.
they don't know. And the reason, and we know why they don't know as well. It's not their fault why they don't know. They just don't know. That's in their hands. SJ and Kayla and
They don't know
Razia.
either, Joe. They don't know either.
I'm not so sure about that, but
I don't think they know it. I don't think they understand it fully, because, if they did, they'd just see how impossible it was to keep people.
well, they know that it's impossible, don't they? That's why they have such a high turnover of reps. That's why they're constantly recruiting, because they know that they have to recruit more people than leave to stay in the game. I mean, there's so many things that that I really want to get out, because there's just so many things that is wrong with some of the things that they've been saying, some of the stuff that I've heard on the Zooms and these trainings and everything, that it's just all wrong. And I just can't. I would like to address it all point by point as we go along, through however many videos we're going to do. But I mean, and I think that if people are in that company, they probably could do with following what we're saying, so that they've got an even balance of information, for their own
I'll answer you in a second,
protection,
Sarah.
for their own protection, for if nothing else, for their own protection. I just don't know where to start, really. Well, I do. It's honestly, it's mind-blowing that a lot of people are falling. They haven't even got a product in their hand. I know that some of the deliveries will come in today, but they've been talking about these products based on how these products actually look, just because they've
And
nice
the
packaging.
just a concept, just an idea. Hyping up, like, that's the cult, though. That's this is it's a cult. Very, very cult like. Sarah has said, is it TS Life and Acti Labs Urban Retreat merged? It's a funny one. So it's the TS Life reps, right? They didn't want to lose those reps because they're getting shut down for being a pyramid scheme. They're getting it that they're moving everyone over before they're officially shut down. So they wanted to keep the reps. So as we know, I mean, I've said it enough times, I can't say the real owner was the managing director of Labs because on paper he was not. I would have imagined he was a major shareholder, or at least Labs was, but that will not be shown publicly. But he was the mastermind. He was the one, you know, there is no lab, there is no manufacturing, there is a white label company. He will be the person communicating with that white label company, arranging everything, very much the middleman, getting the products. He's made this new company. I would imagine in the beginnings he probably thought he was going to make a company that would appeal to, you know, men and get the men in the multi-level marketing, but we know it's, you know, so starts this new company with this Caius, plucks him out of he's just been kicked out of Vida Divina for turning it pyramid schemey, basically. So, you know, it's a bit of a prophecy there. So he's kicked out. But this guy, Caius, very much like this Danny G, they're very good at recruiting. They're very good at, I very much see it like, they are like, and I was thinking about this when I saw that Danny G live, they're very much like the popular boy at school. The popular loud boy at school that wouldn't have given these ladies a second look in the playground, and now they can access him, and all they have to do is join him and be in his downline and buy the stuff he says they should buy, and he will give them the time of day. This is very much the dynamic I see here, and it's this kind of like hero worship, and you know, finally, you know, the popular boy at school knows they exist, sort of thing. That's kind of how I see it. I see the same with this Danny G. They're not recruiting men, are they? They're not appealing to men because men look at men like that and think, what a knob. So yeah, it was the owner of Labs that orchestrated it, and then obviously now it's been shut down for being a pyramid scheme. Doesn't want those reps to be lost, has thrown together this new company as quickly as possible, and shifting all the reps over. He's using all the same binary. It's all there. It's even got the TS Live. So he's just shifting it over. I imagine some sort of transaction will take place to make it look like it'll all look like very legit and legal. But yes, so the reps are all being kept, but now they are within Labs, I would imagine, because there's no other. So he's got them all now. He's got them in Labs. So it was a Reminiscience is an offshoot of Labs, basically now, much how Mermology was. So that's the situation. So now I really don't know what part Caius plays, because, and this is what I go back to the lives with SJ, Amber not so much. I just was so mesmerised by SJ, and I think I said it to you, didn't I, Joe? I said I can't understand why he would keep Caius on when you've got SJ. She's got it all. She's worth 100 of Caius. She's got the fire. She doesn't need any substances. She's getting him in left, right, and centre. She's going above and beyond with the Zooms. She's, you know, she's doing it all. Why would you need to keep this person on that is so problematic? The whole entire reason why TS Live is getting shut down is because of how problematic this individual is, and you keep him on. He's obsolete. He's not the one that's been drawing everyone in. It's the SJs, it's the Ambers, it's the Razias, it's all those. They've been getting them in, not him. In the beginning, maybe in TS Live, he played a part. What part does he play now? What is the point in him? He hasn't even got the fire anymore. What's the point in him? Show me one person that joined the company because of him. One. You can find me. He's gone past popular boy years now anyway, because he's too old. You've got to be on the right side of 40 for that. So he doesn't even, so even if he went into MLM now, he wouldn't get the young ones in. So he's gone past that now. It's a shelf life, isn't it? I can't understand why he's been kept on. Well, what position has he got in this company? It's not in his name. Is he just there as an employee, calling himself? You can employ CEOs, can't you? I suppose they've said that, but why wouldn't you just employ a real CEO? Why would you? What's the purpose of him, Joe? What's Simon's involvement? Simon who? Sorry, Rebecca, what's Simon's involvement? Who's Simon?
Simon Mitchell.
Simon Mitchell, if you mean Simon Mitchell, he hasn't got any involvement. Simon Mitchell was Business Bombshells and then Globe, and when all that went tits up, obviously, because they were also a pyramid scheme, I believe he started some nonsense online thing called Pime, where they look for people and they pay them in cryptocurrency. I've seen him on photos. Oh, okay, then you've probably seen him on old photos. So I believe Caius and him were friends. They fell out with one another when a lot of the TS Life reps went to join Business Bombshells. I've had to find this all out the wrong way. Now, if you don't know that the silliness that occurred because of this, it's the whole reason why I even found out about all this in the freaking first place was these ridiculous men. These men are just so stupid. Anyway, they were friends. They fell out. Now I believe they're friends again. They might have fallen out. Who knows? But that's him on photos. Amber's recent stories. Oh, he's probably doing training and stuff now because his website called Pimes got no success. He's just a loser, Rebecca. He's just a nobody whose mum went very high up in Juice Plus, and he's scrambling around. He's probably the sort of man I imagine Simon Mitchell in another life to be with normal parenting would have probably been the sort of man who would have gone to college, maybe gone to university, been encouraged, perhaps become, I'm just trying to think, maybe an accountant or middle management, something like that, maybe got into IT or something like that. Looking at his thing, perhaps IT, just being a normal guy, probably would have got a half decent job, probably would have, ended up marrying a normal person and been happy, but that won't ever happen to him. That won't ever happen to Simon Mitchell, unfortunately, because his mother is deranged. His mother goes on dating websites for people who are like arranged meetings. It's not ones like eHarmony, or she goes on dating websites for professional, and she meets much older men and she tries to get in their wills. I can prove that if you want to try and do me for defamation, by the way, Susie, I can prove that. So don't even. Yeah, she tries to scam them out of their will money. Oh God, that's another story. So yeah, like you can try and sue me for that, Susie. I'll prove it. So go for it. But that's what he does. So he's got this very deranged, scamming mother, and he's there. I didn't dislike the guy. This was the thing. I didn't get a bad feeling about him. I didn't feel like he was, but I felt like he's very much just being destroyed. He's ruined by all this nonsense, and and he's there in it now, and he'll never live a normal life. Obsessed with Sophie Hughes. I would imagine he's whether he's still madly in love with her or not. If the penny dropped that she was never ever gonna take him out of the friend zone, then I imagine he will have gone to the next stage of that, which is the stage where he never speaks to her ever again and feels resentful towards her for the time he wasted and invested being her friend when nothing was going to come of it. That's the usual turn of events. But yeah, so that's Simon Mitchell for you. Very sad. Very, very sad. Mother absolutely deranged. Susie Mitchell. But yeah.
I'm just having a look. I can't see him on any recent pictures on Instagram. And I've looked in the stories, so they may have disappeared. I can't see them. But anyway, he was like a speaker, wasn't he? He'd be a motivational speaker. And I've been at a couple of events where he's been there. So maybe that's what it was.
Is he any good, is he, Joe? Does he bring the fire?
I think when you're in the zone of MLM, anything you can, any little nuggets that you can take from anyone to keep you going, it's necessary. And that's why it's done. It's necessary. So, and they know that it's necessary to keep you going. That's what it's there for. That's why so many motivational speakers make really good money off the back of, because you've also got, there's a whole host of people who who sort of tune into the MLM,
Yeah.
the enormity of the amount of people that get sucked in, and they know that
Mm.
there's a high turnover of
Yeah.
people that stay, people that leave. Recruiting is constant, so there's always a fresh load of people to be.
Mm.
You go away for a year, you come back, and it's all new people.
Yeah.
And that's
New
just what it's like.
victims. New
That is,
victims and the old
yeah.
victims go off reeling or into another company, round and round again.
So you've got like life coaches, guest speakers,
Mm.
ads, and
Sorry, it
like
went off on the phone.
the moon. I mean, I love the moon. I love all stuff like that,
Mm.
and I love the universe and everything. But
Mm.
what they do is the universe had my back, and these are all things that were intended. Things like The Secret and other literature and everything that you get encouraged to read and watch. What's her name? The badass books that were Jen
Mm.
Stan or
Oh, I
whatever her
can't
name.
stand those. I can't stand this whole universe nonsense. It's just the
Yeah,
replacement. To me, it's this kind of modern replacement of just saying the word God. Oh, do right by God, contribute to the plate that goes round, and you'll
yeah,
be fine. That doesn't really make any difference, does it, to the children who are abused daily all over the world,
no.
to people dying of horrendous illnesses? Did they bring it on themselves? Did they weren't thinking positively enough? Not thinking
You,
positively enough. I mean,
no,
people are just so absolutely. I always think that people who have this idea in their head that they can think positively and this good stuff will come to them, like, you know how what's the word, it's almost like a type of narcissism, like they think that they're that important. They
yeah,
think that they're that important, that their thoughts can have some relevance to the universe, that the universe is like, you know it's like people in yesteryear believing that God was looking at them particularly. Oh, well, you're a chosen one. It's
yeah,
people that are overestimating their own importance. You're irrelevant in this world. The universe is infinite, some might say. We are not even a speck inside it, and that's not even us as humans, that's the earth. And you think that your positive thinking, positivity is going to make money? Oh,
What I
get
what I
real.
what I find quite ironic actually is that you've got people who have uh sort of sidled up to MLM, and they've also tried to take a cut of that money that's being poured in to buy these ridiculous products and sign up to these ridiculous companies and this ridiculous lifestyle that you're expected to live, and or get involved in, the brainwashing and everything else that goes with it. The These other people, such as motivational speakers, the people that have got books out, the people that are life coaches, and they're running courses, mindset courses, and they're charging
Mm.
people, and they're all having a cut because those vulnerable people that are in the MLM are paying somebody else to help them with mindset. And mindset has got nothing to do with MLM. Mindset is something that you don't need to be in an MLM to get that sense of self-worth, to
Mm.
get some peace from within yourself. All those things that you might enjoy doing, like you're putting a bit of work into yourself, getting,
Mm.
whatever it is that takes your fancy, whatever you want to do to make yourself feel better, make yourself have a decent, peaceful life. Basically, that's what
Yeah.
most people are after, aren't we? What You can do all those things. Everybody can do all those things without being in an MLM, or without being on your picture stuck on some banner that somebody's made off bloody Canva or WordSwag, and like you've been shouted out on Facebook. That's not a fucking job.
No,
That's not a job.
it's a substance abuse. It's like we were saying before, but
Yeah,
and this is what I'm saying about, people that own these companies and stuff like that. That this idea that I could say so much. I could say so much,
I
but
could.
there's only the only thing that's ever going to make you happy. And you know, people don't think that they've got a good life. You think, you're thinking to yourself, well, oh, I don't like the area I live in, or I don't like my rubbish job, or I don't like the amount of money. But what they don't see that they have the whole time, they're seeing what they haven't got and what they do have, and what they want. What they don't realise is they're surrounded by people. Yes, there's obviously going to be arseholes dotted amongst them all, but generally they're surrounded by people who are only there. They're not there because they want something from them. They're there because they like them, right? They are going to be able to make friendships, whether they've got anxiety or not. They will be able to make friendships. They will laugh with their families. They will make relationships. They will have Christmases where people do funny things and silly things that they'll remember forever. They'll go out with their friends. Someone will get drunk. They will live this day-to-day life experiences, which generally won't be unhappy. The only unhappiness that they have in that is the thing in their head that says that that's not enough, right?
Yeah.
Because you can look at these people, and I'm going to use the example of the daughter-in-law of Acti Labs owner. You know, I look at her Facebook, and do you know what I see on there, Joe? People look at her Facebook and they go like, oh, I'd love all that. Do you know all I see? It's somebody desperate. The desperation oozes from every word she types to every picture she posts. This desperation to be this person now, to not be a working class girl, to now be, she hasn't, you see, she hasn't just jumped up one social class, she's got to jump up 2 social classes, and every day of her life will be spent proving herself to everybody that she's around, worrying. Every decision she makes will be based off, how does this make me look? Does this fit in with this new person that I want to be? I've seen this happen with somebody I know, and it's not a happy life. And she'll send her son to the poshest school in the area. And do you know all she'll come out with that from that school gate if she drops him off? She'll come out with PTSD from the feelings that she will get of not fitting in, and she will be a very old lady if she's still living that lifestyle before she will ever feel, if she ever feels comfortable living it, you know. She will not be able to make friends with any of the women who are around, not be able to make true friendships because they're not her people. It's not who she knows. She will have nothing in common with them. But then she also can't really be friends with any of the, oh, it's like a lottery winner. You know, you hear how miserable lottery winners after they win the lottery, because they have this income, which means that they no longer fit with their roots, but they also no longer fit with the people who earned that income for themselves, because these are just not those people. They're not respected amongst those people. So I would imagine she feels very lonely. So when people look at her, they think, look at her great life. No, look at a very lonely woman. Look at a very lonely woman who feels very isolated, who feels like she can't really talk. There's no one that will understand her, and she will live proving herself, proving she should be there, doing everything she can, and she'll about her from other school mothers, and she'll live like that. And I'll tell you, that is a miserable way to live, So when you're taking your child to the school in your old car, if you don't have a car, you're walking and you're thinking, I want better. Look at the things you have got. You'll get to the school gate. Maybe there's bitches there. There's always a bitch at the school gate. There's always bitches there. But you feel like you belong. You walk along, you feel like you belong. You have a sense of belonging. You don't feel like you're an imposter. You're taking your child, you're saying goodbye, and you belong, and you go home, and you have your happiness, you have this, you have your things. There isn't this anxiety in you to have something that, or be someone that you're not. And people forget that. People forget, you know, that actually what they have, it's all about the way you feel, not what you have. And if you don't feel like you should be somewhere, and if you constantly got anxiety and there's no one you can make friends with, what sort of a life is that? Life is about happiness and friendships and relationships. We're a social species. That's all you need to be happy. Happy people around you, laughter, family. relationships, happy children, don't need a pile of Christmas presents. Be nice for them to have a few, though. They won't have any if you stay in this company. But yeah.
I mean, you know, like I was just, when you mentioned the school gates there, like when some of these people that are new in Reminiscence, once this training gets underway, they're going to get told to start approaching some of the mums by the school, and they're going to get told to approach the woman that serves them at the checkout in that if they can afford to go to the supermarket, but approach the woman at the food bank then, and ask the woman who's volunteering at the food bank if she's got some spare time, she could turn herself into a millionaire, and all she needs is a couple of bottles of Ultra Nova to do it, and a bit of, you know, tinted moisturizer, and, you know, Bob's your uncle. You get on Facebook, and at the end of the day, you know, every time you buy something, you put on Facebook that you've just watched this film, or you've just bought this amazing fucking potato peeler, and you take a picture of it and put it on Facebook. That's you working for that company, and you don't get none of that.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. You're allowed to take pictures of things that you like and stick it on Facebook without it being all around an MLM and these products. You know, you are, the difference is when you say that you're watching a film, your friends and family feel comfortable to come and, you know, have a little bit of a chat about it, or they want to have a chat about, you know, something that's going on in the local
But
news
babe,
or
this is
whatever.
life happening. Chats, sharing information.
Yeah,
They're trying to turn this into a transaction. They're trying
yeah, and
to
it's not. It's
turn
absolutely not. It's
female
not.
nature on its head. You know.
When you're posting these products, and the reason why you have low interaction when they post about products, and the only people that interact with them, and all they're doing is they're constantly chasing the dragon, basically. They're posting on Facebook, and it's very, very low interaction. So that's when they start begging in the chats and everything, oh, come and support my post and love on my post and that. Because and why do you think, I'm talking to the reps directly here, why do you think that extra likes and comments on a post about fucking supernova is going to change your life? It's
Like
not.
people, the thing is, Joe,
It's
do you know
not.
what it reminds me of? Have you ever been to like you know, when you go on holiday and there's markets and stuff, or something like that, and you know, you wouldn't mind, and you wouldn't mind going and having a little look in the little shops or the little kind of stalls. And you want to almost, you almost want to, because they might have some interesting things, you don't know. But you can't go for a look, because the second you walk in there, they're on you. They're on you, offering you things, and you're like, oh. So you avoid them in the end. And this is the thing about
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Yes.
so they're posting this thing, but their friends dare not freaking like it.
Because you'll be in
They
their
dare
inbox.
not ask any questions,
Yeah.
because the second they do, they're never going to hear the end of it. They are never going to hear the end of it. This is why this is so stupid, because what they're more likely to do, if they see you posting information about a product, saying it's really great, they're more likely to have a look. Well, I won't say, I don't want to be like, because if I like it or if I show interest, it's going to be awkward afterwards when I have to be all like, oh, actually. They'll Google it. Maybe they'll Google supernova. Well, it's ultranova now. And what's going to happen is, Joe, all the eBays will come up. All the eBays will come up with it for much cheaper than what their friend is saying it's going to cost. So they might look at the, because there's no pressure. You can look at an eBay ad and it's got all the information there. They'll look at the eBay ad and they'll be like, if they were ever going to try it, they're going to buy the cheaper one off eBay with all the information on it, and then there's no awkwardness if they don't ever want to buy it again off that friend. There's no awkwardness. That's what they're doing. They are advertisers. They're not sellers even. For the best thing they are doing is advertising the company's products for them to look elsewhere cheaper. No pressure.
Yeah.
Don't have to ever buy it again if I don't want to. That's the best
So
that I'll ever do.
I've just typed in, because you've brought up eBay, supernova, on eBay, 315 results.
Oh, of course, there's loads. It's
That's
all the reps
actually
selling off old stock.
less than it was the last time I checked, because the last time I checked it was 500 and something. So let me just stick Ultra Nova in and see what that comes up with.
See if anything comes up.
Ultra Nova. No, nothing's coming up. But they haven't had
Might not have got it. They haven't
No.
stock held it yet. And
No.
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know how much the rep prices were for the other products in TS Life, but I know that it was always. I know that they're doing this now with the Ultra Nova. They're saying, well, you only need to, but it's more expensive to reach 100 on the Ultra Nova. It's like £175, whereas to be product of the product, you could buy the one I suggested in the video, which was an Age Defy, Body Well, which has got 2 supernovas in it, so you can reach your that's the second cheapest. Well, to be product of the product, £168 will get you all the face stuff, the age stuff, Supernova, Volt, Zito, and a sheer tint. So you'd need the extra 10 points. So that's how they would do it. So I don't know if there will be that many, because people were literally just buying 8, weren't they, to a month to reach what they needed to be at. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen to as much of an extent with the Ultra Nova. It's too expensive. I mean, for goodness sake. And you know, another concerning thing that I saw today, somebody put on TikTok was saying about energy drinks, caffeinated and stuff, for the father who had a heart attack. The amount of caffeine, if people are consuming this Ultra Nova and this Volt, that is a heck of a lot of caffeine, of a lot of caffeine. And I hope that people are keeping an eye on it, because if people have got heart murmurs or heart conditions or anything like that, you know, you could be putting yourself in danger. This is something, these energy drinks are, and that's all it is. It's a high energy in a shot. You know, so I know people don't, but that's all it is. I think it's like 200 milligrams of caffeine in the Supernova. That's why it makes you feel good, because it's a stimulant. It's a stimulant. Caffeine is a stimulant, the same family as cocaine, same family as amphetamines. It's a stimulant, right? It's caffeine, and you're having a lot of it. So it's going to have an effect where it makes you feel like you're absolutely buzzing. But that's not doing you any good. It's not healthy for you. And when you come down from that feeling, well, you're probably going to end up wanting to sit there and boost your dopamine, and you'll do that by eating, because eating food is a massive dopamine booster. So I can't see how it's going to help in any of the ways that they say it's going to help in.
No. I mean, the thing is,
pop off in a sec.
If Supernova or Ultra Nova is going to give them this, you know, bit of a hit of, you know, some energy and stop them feeling sluggish, there are a million other options to be taking a substitute, you know, a diet substitute, or supplements or whatever, so much cheaper with the same ingredients, with more ingredients than what this product is offering anyway. It's not a reinvention of the wheel, and they're not amazing products, sustainability, great for the planet, all the other stuff. I mean,
no,
there's so much I want to say. I just can't get it all out in one go, because I'm not, obviously I know that we're not talking
don't
about it all
worry,
in one
we'll
go.
come back. I'm coming back with Tracy. Tracy'd like to come on as well. She'd like to say her piece. But I'm going to tell you now, any reps, you know, the best way that you are going to feel absolutely incredible, 10 times better than taking a shot of that, is, no one wants to hear it though, do some exercises. I'm going to tell you now, I wasn't an exerciser. I was not a person who did exercises at all. Mark said recently he wants to get fit and stuff, and so he said we're going to do some sit-ups and stuff. And I'll tell you what, done some press-ups, some sit-ups, been doing, you know, not every night even, but you feel great afterwards. I've got such toned abs now. Do you want to see them, Joe? I'm so proud of them.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely so proud of this. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. I'm going to show you my abs.
Wow.
Wow. Like that.
Don't tell me you've been
on a Supernova.
Have you been on the 10-day belly buster?
I have. No, I haven't. But look at that. I am so proud of that. This is,
Yeah,
I'd even do a video to help people because this doesn't,
amazing.
that does not, no supernova. You don't get that from supernova. You get that, and it's not even that much. It's just sit-ups, and not. I can't tell you. It's not. I'm not sitting there doing strenuous ones. Marta's been doing them with me, and that isn't. That's one of SJ's things. SJ said that she's been exercising for 2 years, and finally she's got abs. I thought to myself, I haven't even been doing that for 2 months. It's just consistent, and I feel great afterwards. Feel absolutely great. I'd even, for free, I don't even show people what I do. It's less than 5 minutes, but you do it as much as you can. And if you want to lose weight, you just do that. I also like walking as well. I'm not going to lie. I do like walking. But that's how you lose weight. You have to, people think, right, that they need to use all these products. So I need to suppress my appetite. I need to do this. I need to do that. I tell you what it is. Read the book Burn. He told me about it. Mark told me about it. Burn. Exercise actually doesn't cause you to lose weight. The biggest calorie consuming the consumer in your body is your brain, right? Exercise for weight loss, hardly anything. You might as well not eat a muffin. What it does though, when you crave food, Joe, you think, oh my God, I'm craving food, even when you're not hungry. And it kind of thinks to yourself, well, why do you crave food when you're not hungry? Why would you crave food? You're not craving the food, you're craving the dopamine hit. It's the dopamine
Yeah,
hit. When you eat food, you get a massive hit of dopamine. That's what you're craving, because that's what it's like anything. It's almost like self-medication. That's why a lot of depressed people binge eat, right? If you can redirect the dopamine hit to another thing. Now, I've been going for walks for 20 years now, and I used to think that that's what made me not be overweight. And I realise now that he was back. He didn't get back from work till really late one day, and I was walking around the house. I couldn't find my headphones, like a drug addict, because I just wanted to go. Because I normally like to go when he gets back, and I was like a drug addict. I was like, where are my headphones? The kids had put them on one of the chairs. I found them in the end, but I was like, I need to get out. I need to go for a walk, because that's what I use now to get dopamine. So, you know, if you can fit that in after you drop your kids off to school, fit in a walk, headphones on, choose some nice music, do some sit-ups, even if it's just one press up, do it, and you'll feel so good afterwards. Few squats. I'll show you the exercise. I'll get Mark to video me and literally show you what I did to get those abs. It's not hard. You just have to do it consistently for a few months, and you'll start seeing it. But obviously it's difficult if you've got a bit of a belly and you're not seeing the results quickly enough. And then go for a walk. You won't feel like eating for that reason. It might take a while to redirect your dopamine hits, you know, whatever your body thinks you need, but you get there in the end. I've never, and I'll tell you what, Joe, I do not feel like, and he will stand, I eat whenever I want to. I never feel like I'm stopping myself from eating when I want to. I cram the kids' stuff in my face whenever I feel like it. But honestly, when I look at it, I don't always feel like I don't always feel like I've been with people, and I know Mark does more so I can compare myself. He will eat more than me when he's hungry, and I just don't eat that much, but I always feel like I eat when I want to. And that's the best advice I'd give to people. These drinks are garbage. They're absolute load of crap. These pills, this caffeine, filling yourself with stimulants, that's not going to do you any good. It's just going to F around with your heart. Find something, anything. Never exercise to lose weight. Never exercise, because you'll do it for 2 weeks. You'll exercise to lose weight for 2 weeks, and then you'll never do it again. I go for walks in the evening, and I see the joggers. I see them, and I know I'll see them for a couple of nights longer, and then I'll never see them again. Exercise for your mental health, because you enjoy doing it. I literally go for a walk, and what you find then is your cravings for food decrease, because you begin to get dopamine from other sources. And I only understood that after I read the book Burn. He recommended it. And that's how you'll lose weight, and that's how you'll keep it off forever, if you get your dopamine hit from places other than food. But Joe, oh, and another thing, and I'll tell you this if you want to lose weight, beans on toast.
Yes.
Beans on toast, Joe. Ah,
Beans on
he's
toast.
lost loads. He's lost a
Yeah.
load of weight. Beans on
Beans
toast.
on
Yeah.
Yeah, beans on toast. When I was or going back many years, like I was always in the gym. I was, you know, toned and
Mm.
thin and healthy. And I used to eat brown, can't remember, not brown flakes, just brown. And it was kind of really bland. It was like chewing
Mm.
bloody elastic bands, but I used to put fruit in it. So that made it a
Mm.
bit more. And then I'd eat
Yeah.
beans on toast. And then, you know, a normal, you know, sort of
Yeah.
like balanced dinner, you know, or whatever.
Mm.
And I can vouch for the beans on toast. The
Oh, we
beans on
eat that.
toast
We're
is
gonna have beans on
really
toast
good
now.
food. Yeah,
The
yeah, me too. Me too.
success he's had from this, with 2 slices of toast, half a tin of beans each, the sugar, low sugar ones. It's about 500 calories. Put a bit of cheese on it, about 500 calories in it. It's about 500 calories in it. And you feel every single time we have it, and I say, like, oh, we'll have beans on toast tonight. And no, we always enjoy. Every time we eat it, Joe, we both we both say, thoroughly enjoyable. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it's dropped off him. It's dropped off him, honestly. So, ladies, anyone watching this, half a
I
tin of beans on
suppose
toast.
I suppose really when it comes down to it, when you're talking about weight loss products, from an MLM, you know,
Mm,
particularly from Reminiscence or Ultra Nova Volt,
mm,
whatever else that you know they've got going, um, that it's not really about the products, is it? It's not about them. That's just the front. What really is going on in the background is that it's about the money, isn't it? And it's about these couple of
mm.
people at the top getting as much money as they possibly can off the rest at the bottom. So yeah,
Of
some will earn
course.
money, some will earn money, but for everyone that's earning a little bit, for the hours they're putting in, it
I
doesn't
don't think
equate
they're
to.
earning a little bit. I think if you take away what they've spent on the
Yeah,
products for themselves, I think a lot of them are there thinking to themselves, like, oh, I earned £50 from a couple, like some sales I made this month, but they forget about the £400 they've spent on crap themselves the form. They
because
think in their brains.
you've got to be a product of the product, and that
Well, this is
that
the whole
is
point. Like, so
yeah.
they're never gonna, that's why it's always losing. And I noticed with this company, and and I go back to, I remember that when I did videos about the video about FM World, and I didn't know anything about this, and I thought to myself, God, this is awful. And these companies with these binaries, I can say, and I'm telling you now, I've researched both, I can see both. If you are going to, I think, lose more money in a binary than you are in the
Yeah.
normal ones, at least. And I use the example of FM World, because I don't think any of them are good. I'm against all of it. To me, when I first saw FM World, I was shocked by it. It's going to be more pressure, but you recruit somebody, it's not going to be so hard to keep those recruits because you don't need to build anyone's power leg for them, and it's not so hard to, it's just not as hard. It's going to be easier to make money in a normal non-binary, like a non-binary, in a normal, what do you call it, a normal pyramid.
Unilevel.
Unilevel,
Unilevel.
is it? Okay. So in one like that, it's going to be easier to not lose recruits, and to, if you're ever going to earn anything, it's going to be easier. Not that I think it would even be possible. These binaries, if possible, much
Yeah,
worse than FM World. I mean, I hear there was people from FM World leaving to go to Remy. One of the leaders I spoke to, she said, because when I said I was like doing this video, and I said, did she know anything about it or anything like that? She said to me, one of our big leaders has actually gone there, and I was like, what? And she told me that one of these leaders was on about £7,000 a month, £7,000 a month. And I remember, like, now looking back, I think the amount of people she said she'll never get near that with Reminiscence. Never get
and
anywhere near that.
I mean,
Never.
some of the people that have turned up at Reminiscence have turned up because not because they think this is the best thing I've ever seen, or because this is the thinking about the planet and all the other bullshit that
Mm,
I'm guaranteed pay, which isn't guaranteed anyway, which is a load of fucking
mm.
shit. How can they guarantee a pay? Because you have to do things to get the guaranteed pay, so it's just the same as it was
It was
before.
always
Only
going to
the-
go over that guaranteed pay.
oh,
That guaranteed pay, I realise now they've only done that in order for that to be their big thing that they can tell everyone, because
yeah,
they can say you get a guaranteed pay. No other company offers this. But of course, when you work it all out, of course, once you get to those levels, it's so impossible to get to those levels. Your pay will go over that naturally with the amount of points that you need to be at that level and all the requirements involved. It will have obviously have gone over that, but they don't know that. It's just how it looks, and that's the only thing that they've got on the website. They keep this compensation. Well, I've just posted it now on the page, so anyone googling it will come straight up, so you don't need to be so secretive over that anymore. Listen, Tracy, I'm gonna have to go off. Right, we will come back.
Joe, not Tracy. Joe, not
Sorry,
Tracy.
Tracy, I've just looked at Tracy down there. So I
I
said,
know. It's all
Joe, I
right.
apologise. Hi,
No, it's all right.
Tracy.
It's all right.
I'm going to be coming on with Tracy. Tracy's very, very looking forward to having her say. But yeah, Joe, do you have anything you want to say before you go?
I do. I mean, I have a million things I want to say, but I just want to say this one thing regarding these products and what you wash yourself in and what goes
Mm,
down the sink. Now, if anybody who was on SJ's trainings, when she's talking about what you wash your face in and it goes down the sink and it's benefiting the planet, I just urge anybody that's been taken in by that statement, that she has made that claim that's not true, go and check out what happens to the water once it's gone down the sink. Check out which
mhm,
products are, or the microbeads that were filtering back into the food chain, because the water cleansing,
mm.
when it goes through all the process
Yeah,
of the,
yeah.
we're not like we're not flushing stuff down the drain and then it's coming up in next door's tap for him to drink. It
Mm.
doesn't fucking work like that.
Oh
That
no,
water goes
I
to
think whether she
that
believes
water.
that or not.
Oh, but people are there sitting there thinking, oh God, yeah, what we're washing our face in, and it goes down the sink, and then the next thing someone's drinking it. It doesn't work like that. Just Google it; it's easy enough. And
Yeah, yeah.
if you believe that, the only thing that's banned, uh, what could end up going down the sink, everything that you can buy in this country is cleared for
Yeah,
use. They make out like every fucking product in the supermarket is illegal, and it's only
I know.
Reminiscence products that are suitable and sustainable for the planet. Listen, they're a bit late to the party on sustainability. Everywhere has got sustainability, and those that haven't got it quite right are aiming for it. It's a big, big thing. You didn't come up with it. You're about 20 or 30 years fucking late on to the party on sustainability. Stop lying to people about that bullshit. What they put down the sink. So what are you saying, that you put your fairy liquid down the sink and it's poisoning
Oh
people?
yeah, yeah. And you
It's not.
bleach. You
It's not.
bleach. Your
It's
toilet
not.
cleaner. Can you
The water
imagine?
gets the water gets treated, and it gets all sorts of washing procedures and everything, and all that shit gets taken out before it comes back around, for the food chain. The only thing that was there was microbeads and some I read, because I was reading up on it, because I obviously want to know what that I'm saying is right. But the one of the only things that was banned, and actually the Body Shop were the first people to do it. And Reminiscence is not Anita Roddick. I know Body Shop have got
Mm.
the MLM side, but it was Anita Roddick that was way ahead of her years, not fucking SJ Carroll. It doesn't work like
Do
that.
you think that they're gonna get a shock on my next video when they find out where it all comes from?
Well, I think there's a few shock moments to come yet, but I needed that thing about the water, it really bugged me. I
Mm.
nearly unmuted myself in the Zoom to tell them it doesn't work like that. That's not what it is. It's Tesco, Asda, everywhere is doing sustainability. You know,
Yeah.
we've got a responsibility ourselves. And one more small thing, please. Just let me say this one last thing. When you're saying that affordability is between £7 and £30. Now, is it affordable to pay £7 for something that was only £1? And is it also affordable? It depends what you're buying. How can they say that it's affordable because everything's between £7 and £30?
It's a
How the
nonsense.
fucking
It's like
hell?
they feel like if they keep saying it, we keep saying it's affordable, it's affordable, it's affordable, it's affordable.
Not
If someone says
affordable.
that
It's
the
not
people are going to start
affordable.
going, oh yeah, it's affordable. None of it's affordable. None of it's affordable. And they know in their hearts it's not affordable,
It's
Joe.
not
They know in
affordable.
their
It's not.
hearts that nobody is buying body lotions and shampoos when they can get it. And I mean, I'm not just talking about, you know, I said about the one in Lidl. I'll stand by that Lidl one. It's bloody brilliant. But, you know, you can go in and get, you know, L'Oreal, Fructus, for a fraction of the price, proper brands,
The three
legit
ninety nine,
brands.
the 3.99 BB cream, which has got a really nice sheen on it. The Lacura one from Aldi is absolutely fantastic. You put a bit of
Mm,
that on, and I don't really wear a lot of makeup anyway, but I did put some on the other day when I went to Oldham to watch. I went as a Wrexham fan. I went to
mm,
the away game with my family, and we were in Oldham. And I did,
yeah,
just put a little tiny bit of BB cream on, the one that I've got from
yeah,
Aldi, 3.99. And when I got in the shower that night, I was using no, I'm using at the minute a face wash and a cleanser that I like to use in the shower because I like to feel like I've had a good
mm,
cleanse. And I don't pay dear for them. I just buy, Olay or whatever
yeah,
from,
yeah, yeah.
or the Garnier stuff or whatever from Home
Because even
Bargains.
that, not as
People
expensive.
don't need people don't need to be buying a £7 lip fucking gloss, for crying out loud.
The
If it
lip,
was
I want lip gloss. Do you think? What do you think of my lips, Joe? Do I have to
you've got absolutely gorgeous lips, you really have. Go
pound
on.
shop?
You
Pound
can't
shop.
go wrong. You
It's a
cannot
pound
go
shop.
wrong.
Look, my
I
eyelashes.
mean,
Where's that one gone in my drawer? Look, I've only put a little bit on. Look at that.
yeah, really nice. You can't go wrong. I'm
Collection
I'm
2000.
using I'm using a mascara that I had from the when I used to buy the glossy boxes and the birch boxes. I used to buy them all the time religiously. And one of the
Mm,
reasons why I used to buy them, I subscribed to those things, and I ended up with a hoard of fucking products that I didn't want. And
mm,
I was only sticking into that subscription so that when it came up, I could take a picture of what I did and stick it on Facebook so that I could
mm.
get my relevancy up. And that was costing me money
Yeah, yeah,
because you start running out with things to go on about.
yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
the pressure. You've got to do 80/20. You've got to be this. You've got to be in this chat. You've got to be in a million groups. You've got to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Zoom. And if you're tired, you keep going because you want to be a millionaire. But
They're
then,
so
you're going to
awkward
be
and boring on the Zooms as well,
but,
Joe. I just,
but if you're tired, keep going because you might need a nap, because you're busy
mm,
with your kids and you're busy with whatever, and you might need a nap, but you can't have a nap because you're never going to make it if you
yeah,
don't have a nap. Get up dead early, stay up really late for these other fucking Zooms that we're doing, and then we're going to train your own mindset, but we're also going to create sleep depravity, which also
yeah.
is a big
Oh, they're
factor
so boring,
in
these
mental
mindset
health.
Zooms.
Sleep
Gosh, go
depravity
on and on
is
about their amazing life. My device is overheating. Go on and
not
on and on about their amazing life and all the rest of it. And it's like, oh, for God's sake, that's all they
oh,
spend half the time talking about.
it's
But
absolutely, they're constantly working. That is not
mm,
time freedom. You can't tell people that you've got time freedom and financial freedom when you are constantly online in groups and chatting and you're there
yeah,
pushing all these people, because your job is not to sell products or buy products. Your job is to motivate them people for them to get customers or spend their own money so that you get paid. If they weren't getting any money off you, they wouldn't
Paid
give a
hardly
fuck about
anything
you.
as well.
And it's
They
all
paid hardly
superficial.
anything.
They don't care about you.
Selling their
We care about
soul.
you. I care about
Vanessa,
people. Go on,
I
sorry.
care. I care.
I
For
care about
God's
people. I
sake.
really do.
hey, sorry about that. My device overheated. I'm on my other phone now. Yeah, we had to end it there anyway. But anyone that's just coming on now, if you're a rep, you can go, well, for Reminiscience, the video is there. You can go and find out the whole compensation plan and what it means. See if it's something that you want to get involved with. I will be back with Joe again, and I'll be back on with Tracy soon. I'll get a date put down for Tracy, and I'll see you all soon, guys. Oh, and one last thing, John, you are a horror, and I don't know how you sleep at night. I really don't, and I'm disgusted by you, disgusted by all your lies, and I'm on this now. And you can try to do whatever you want to do to me. Anything that you want to try to do to me. This will be more fun, actually, when you try to do stuff. If you try to do stuff, if you try to go down that road, because the game will well and truly be on then. What you're going to do is you're going to watch me do absolutely everything in my power to discredit this company, to show what a mockery it is. I'm going to be doing videos about where the products come from. I'm going to be doing videos about all the ingredients in the products, and anything that you do to me in that time or just think you're going to do to me, there will then be additional add-on videos which will be, if you want to be personal with me, there will be personal ones. For now, I'm sticking with the facts, I'm sticking with what's going on with the company, and that's where we are. This will not end until Reminiscence is completely out of business. That's where this will end. You should never have done this. You need to go, you need to shut this down, you need to take your money, and you need to start focusing on that incredible author that you have in your company. Start investing your money in something legitimate, not this scum. Bye.